Hello and welcome, online moneymakers. This is Michelle Brubaker here, and I am with Alyssa Avant, and we're going to have a really great conversation today. I know you're going to love this one because she's going to talk about being a virtual assistant. And not only is she a virtual assistant, but she trains other virtual assistants. So this girl there she is. She is in the know for this stuff. So the really neat thing is that being a virtual assistant is a lot of times just the same things you're doing already. You know, you're already posting on social media, so you could actually get paid to do that for someone else, or you could be doing other online tasks. Some of the things you're already doing and get paid for it. So how cool is that, right? That's an exciting thought to think, isn't it? So we're going to have her share with those today. What I want you to do is post your questions if you have them. Post them below. We'd love to answer them live on the air for you. But we're going to talk to you about how to make money on the internet being a virtual assistant. So Alicia, share with us a little bit about you and tell us where you're from.
Well, I am from Mississippi, and so that's pretty far south, not quite as far as you can go, but pretty far south. And I live in a very small town, and I have 3 children. Mine are are close to being teenagers, and my husband and I live in this very small town. Like I said, we have a basset hound, and I actually, fun facts, live in the middle of a cow pasture. People always think that's pretty funny. So
I love that. I have cows. I don't have my own cows anymore, but we live just like across the street, which is a ways away, but across the pasture is some cows. My father-in-law used to have cows, 2 of them, and one was named Betty and the other one was named Ugly Betty.
That's funny because my daughter actually named a cow. Well, it was a mama cow and the calf recently, and my daughter has named them Betsy and Buford. So she looks in Buford every day, and it's very funny.
I love it. That's so cute. So you're from Mississippi. I'm from a small rural town too, which is great. And that's the neat thing about being on the internet, right? We can do this from anywhere, whether we're at home or on vacation or traveling, or even if you're in a small town in Mississippi in the southern part of the United States. So anywhere. So tell us, how'd you get started and what is a virtual assistant and what do they do?
Well, a virtual assistant, I'll start with that, it is basically you work as an independent contractor and you are able to provide service-based tasks to business owners and individuals. And those tasks can range anything from editing or graphic design or social media management to web design to I even did ghostwriting when I started my business. That was the first thing I did. And so the way that I got started is this was back before Facebook was very popular. And we had what I consider old school forums. And forums where you could go and ask questions and post topics. And I was a part of a mom forum, and it was for moms who wanted to find a way to work from home. And at that point, I had a blog that I wrote a lot about mom stuff. I was a pretty new mom at the time, and I had posted in there in this forum about finding a way to make an income from home, and actually had a lady reach out to me because she had gone to my blog and she had seen my writing and she liked my writing style and thought that it was something that would help her she had a business and wanted to create some articles to market her business to moms. So what I did is I was her ghostwriter. So I wrote articles for her, and article banks and article marketing was a big way to market your business back at that time. That was in 2007. And so that started my business as a ghostwriter, not even realizing, I tell people this, not even realizing I was starting a business as a virtual assistant, because as a VA, it's kind of an umbrella of different opportunities that you can have. And many times people don't realize the different things that VAs can do. It's pretty widespread, and it's where you can truly create your niche or your target market for yourself, your specialty, and really carve out a specific group of people that you want to work with and kind of set yourself apart in that way. So the first 3 years of my business, that's what I did as a ghostwriter, and then moved into other pieces as I added other services to the business.
Mm-hmm. How fun and exciting, right? To write for someone else. So then you expand that, because now the internet, it's rapidly changing. There's more stuff you can do all of the time with new platforms and sales channels and things coming up. What other kinds of things can a virtual assistant do?
Well, I moved into other pieces, and those pieces, as you said, have grown so much, because that was really before a lot of our social media platforms even existed. It was just before Twitter came on this.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't have Instagram or Pinterest. And so any of those social media platforms are ways that you can specialize. I just spoke this morning with one of the VAs in my directory about helping with a client's Pinterest account, also helping with editing, for example. I have a lot of authors and speakers and bloggers that come to me, and they need editing, but they also need graphics for their websites and things like that. So if you can create graphics, if you can edit audio, podcasters really need you. Even people that do something like you do as well and create videography and editing and enhancing the videos is another way. Of course, writing and repurposing content. So if you wrote, for example, if you created a video or an audio and you turned that into a blog post and then turned that into social media post. So any of skills that you have, even if all you know how to do is copy and paste, there is a job for you, because data entry is another way that you can perform tasks for people. Or if you can use a templated email to respond to emails for a client.
Mm-hmm. Wow, an email, that'd be great too, because some of us have like a lot of email.
Right. And it can be overwhelming, and this way someone can step in and help you organize your email. So if you have great organization skills or attention to detail, those are things that work really well in the VA world.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So do VAs work on a project basis, or do they work on hourly?
That would be both. So it kind of depends on the project itself. If it is a project that you can do and you can, a one-time project, for example, would be like a website, for example, or if you were creating a logo for someone or something along those lines. But there are also ongoing items as well. So depending upon if the client or the VA prefers to offer their services hourly, and in that way they would have the hours that they offer, and then at the end of the time period that they're working with the client would pay them what they are owed. Or you can also offer what is more like a retainer type package, which is what I do, where my clients purchase a specific number of hours per month, and then they utilize those hours on the different types of tasks that they have, and then they are able to renew every 30 days for that retainer of hours. And that helps both the VA to know how much time you are going to be giving that person, or devoting to the particular client, but it also helps the client to know what to expect to pay, so they're not not taken by surprise at the end of the month.
Yeah, sure.
For example. So I really like the retainer or the package model much more than an hourly, month-to-month basis.
Yeah, because if something takes you longer than expected, then you're not billing the client. But then if something takes you less than expected, then you're still getting a good income from that.
Right. And you can kind of know what to expect as far as time, and also
That's great. So you're also a trainer, and so where you work with other virtual assistants. So you did this for years and then became a support person for other people starting a business or who are already advanced in the business. What are some of the issues or concerns that come up for your community?
Well, I started working with people on the basis of, I helped kind of mentor new VAs through an internship program. And one of the things that I notice a lot, people don't know where to get started. Kind of, do I need a website first? Do I need, to have a business name? What do I need to do? And so that's the piece that is really people are most overwhelmed with, is where do I start? And it is so super simple. In fact, I say often that a service-based business like a VA is one of the easiest businesses to start because you don't have any overhead. Most people already own a personal computer or laptop.
That's right.
Something like that. You probably already have internet in your house at this point in the game, and even better, more likely to have it than I did at the time that I started almost 15 years ago. So it's more friendly, user friendly, and easier to start this business than almost anything because of that. But then the next question people ask, besides just how to get started, is how to get clients. People are concerned about getting clients, concerned about, the market being saturated. But I will say that this particular avenue of work is getting more and more popular. People are needing the services more and more. And, during this pandemic that we've experienced, my business has not taken a blow or a hit due to the fact that it is virtual already and so much easier to kind of pivot in that. I really didn't have to do a lot to change my business to go virtual. Obviously, it was already virtual, and it has helped in that way. So people worry about that, but I tell you that is the least of your worries, because finding clients is not the most difficult part.
That's good to know. That's awesome. Excellent. All right. So tell us maybe some success stories of people that are virtual assistants in your communities. I mean, you're obviously a success story. You started out with little children, and then now, of course, they're older now. But you've created not only your own virtual assistant business, but helping other people to do that too. I love the ripple effect with things, and that brings me joy in my business too when that happens. But tell us some success stories.
Yes, I get so excited when I'm able to help another mom. So as I mentioned, one of the first ways that I ever did this was through a mentoring process called, an internship. But since then, I launched a course that does the same thing, basically. And so, for example, I have a mom, and she was working part-time as a teacher's assistant in her local school. She wanted to come home and be home instead, to be able to be there for her family. And so she was able to quit that job as a result of becoming a VA and making even more than she made in her job outside the home. And I have multiple ladies that did that. I also have a lady who was an intern back several years ago. I believe it was in 2015. And her husband had lost his job, and she was needing to just make sure that they stayed afloat while he was looking for for a new job. She was able to do that and kept them from losing their home or their mortgage, not being able to pay their mortgage, because of the fact that she was able to take on clients in her VA business that she created from scratch when she found out her husband had lost his job.
So it's a great way to either contribute to your family income, or you can make it your full-time job, I'm assuming, right, too? It could be
right.
full-time.
Yes, absolutely. This is my full-time job. It has been my full-time job since around 2015. Before that, I worked very part-time, and I also decided to work outside the home and do this part-time for a little while. But I was able to, that year, I was working a full-time job outside the home and was able to make more income that year in my business that I was working part-time nights and weekends than I did in my full-time job. And that sold me on not going back to the full-time job, for sure.
Yeah, like done, right? All done with that. No more, right?
Exactly.
And right now, if you're watching this replay, this is, it's 2020. So there's a COVID issue all over the world. And so we are actually perfectly positioned for this. A virtual assistant, a way to earn an income online. This is a perfect way to do it, to take whatever skills that you have and turn that into an online business. So how can someone decide how do I know if what I know how to do is something worthy of doing for someone else?
Absolutely. I say that everybody has marketable skills. And, most people say, I don't have any skills. I can't do anything. That is not true. Just think about things that you do on a regular basis. Like I said before about just the copy paste. If you can send an email, if you can make travel arrangements, if you can put up a listing, like if you've ever gone on Facebook and listed something in the marketplace, for example, you can create a listing on Marketplace. Those are all types of tasks that are easily done for someone else and that can be outsourced. And so there are business owners that would love to have someone manage their email or post on social media for them on a regular basis. So there are tons of marketable skills. In fact, if you were to go over, and at the end of the call, I'll share with you how to get over to my website. One of the things that I share with those that are interested in becoming a virtual assistant, one of the first things I share with them is I have a document that has 300 ways to get. So 300 different types of tasks that you can offer as a virtual assistant.
Wow.
So definitely something that you could find something on that list. And I tell people, like, when you get this document, you go down through here and you determine,
check them off.
All the different things that you have the skills to do. And if you have a handful of those skills, you could start a business with that.
That's cool. Thank you. And for sharing that. That's wonderful. 300 things that you could do as a virtual assistant. I love it. And you've shared a whole bunch of those already, Alyssa, from email and social media. Just you are a whole list of them. And so tell us, on the list of 300, what's the most wackiest thing that's on there?
Let me think.
The most unique and thing you'd be like, really?
Probably some of the personalized tasks. So creating, finding, I had someone one time want me to research and find eyeglasses, for example. So, I can remember, very personal tasks that you would think, why would someone not want to do that for themselves?
That's a pretty busy person right there.
Right, exactly.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting, because you think of a personal assistant, like a celebrity, or has a personal assistant, that walks their dog for them and picks up their dry cleaning, right? Pick their kids up from school.
Yeah, you can virtually. Just think of things you could do virtually. So phone calls, setting appointments, and that sort of thing.
Oh, and that's a very important thing for people to do. So can they, when they're setting appointments, so then they have access to your calendar and they put all those in that would be so nice for people who would love that, right?
Right. You can share your Google Calendar with someone and they can help set up appointments. I even had a request last week from a chiropractor who she is a small business owner and doesn't have help in the office and needed someone to answer the phone. So basically, she would forward the calls through for a certain amount of hours during the day for that person to answer the phone. And she has a calendar or scheduling system online that you access remotely, and you would basically schedule her patients for her.
Oh, that's great. And that's a simple thing to do. We know how to schedule on our own calendar and schedule our own doctor appointments. Why not get paid to schedule other people's appointments, right?
That's one of the latest people that was referred to me needing assistance. I get a lot of referrals for people who need virtual assistants in different areas, and that's just an example of one of the latest ones.
Yeah. How about times? You and I are in a different time zone, but and I have students in my own courses that are all over the world. So as far as doing a virtual assistant job, is there hours to that?
Well, it is very, very flexible. And that's one of the things, as you mentioned before, I started this business when I actually had a newborn and a preschooler at the time, the year I started my business. And of course, my family grew from there, and I've had children at every age imaginable because my oldest is now 16. So that the thing about it was, as a young mom, I worked much different hours than I do now. I worked around their schedule, around them taking a nap and that sort of thing. I often worked at night, and now I work a very, very streamlined schedule of, I work the hours that they're in school. So I work around 8 to 3 every day. So it's very, very flexible. And most people do not mind when you get the work done, as long as you get the work done. So people are really flexible with this, and you don't have to worry about hours. Even if you're in different time zones, I've worked with people. In fact, I have clients who are in the Pacific time zone now. And I've worked with people even on the other side of the world. The funniest one was, I worked one year with a lady from Australia, and she was in the future, literally.
They are. I have students in Australia.
Say, I'm talking to someone tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like 1 o'clock here for my class, and it's 6 a.m. there. I don't know. Yeah, that's amazing that they do it. Or the other way around, and they're in Scotland and it's 10 p.m. But that's great. I love how you shared that this is flexible for you, and you getting to choose that schedule. And what better job to have is one that is a flexible schedule you can do from anywhere, anytime, and help other people. I want to open it up for anybody. If you have questions and you're watching here today, please put a comment in below. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, please do that. Give us a thumbs up, a like, and a heart. We love that kind of thing here. And then if you know someone who's interested in becoming a virtual assistant, or is already a virtual assistant and would like to, learn more about that, definitely put your comments in or reach out to Alyssa. And as we wrap up, Alyssa, why don't you, give us your best tips on being a virtual assistant?
Well, the thing that people ask about a lot is getting clients. And I just want to say that the best way to get clients for me has always been through what I like to call relationship marketing. If you can build relationships online and network just like you would, for anything else, like if you were, trying to find people who are interested in gardening, for example, and, you go online and you look in groups and you Google things, the same can be done when you're looking for clients. So you want to just get around the people that you would like to work with and be able to answer their questions and just dialogue with them. And most groups allow you to share what you do now. And you would be surprised that people would remember, hey, she answered my question about XYZ. Maybe she can help me. And that has been the best way for me to build my business over the years.
Yeah, in fact, that's how I found you, is in a Facebook group. I reached out to Alyssa through, relationships and connecting online, and that's how it's done. So can anybody do this business, Alyssa?
I believe 100% that anybody can. If you have the determination, you have the want to, and you have that need in your life, you can definitely use any skills that you have. Because like I said, there are at least 300 marketable skills.
I love that. Go ahead and share us how we can get in touch with you, and how we can get that list of 300 marketable skills.
Sure. So if you'll just go over to my website, it is my name, Alyssa Avant, and spelled out, company.com. And you can, over there, you can see different options there, because I do have different things that I do. I teach you how to become a virtual assistant. I have a directory there if you would like to join a directory where you can be connected with business owners. And I'll also do coaching for women who are already experienced virtual assistants that want to grow their business or to add multiple income streams to their business. So you can just reach out to me there. And I have a group here on Facebook called Growing Christian Virtual Assistants. If you want to join that group, just, type that into your search bar in Facebook and just say, hey, you can direct message me here on Facebook and I'll point you in the right direction. I'll have to grab the link for the 300 ways to VA.
Okay.
But I will definitely share that with you, because I believe it is a wonderful resource and definitely one that can kind of joggle your ideas, help you joggle your mind to say, hey, I do have a skill that I can offer.
That's wonderful. Great. Well, I will post those in the comments. Give me, a minute and I'll put those in there. So if you come back and you're watching the replay, it should be in there. And I'll post those on YouTube in the description and on Facebook in our description as well. So you can connect with Alyssa on her website, AlyssaAvantandCompany.com, and reach out and get her list of 300 marketable skills. There's got to be something on there. Anybody can make money in this business. I love it. I love it. All right, great. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel and click the little bell icon so that you can get notified when new videos come up. If you're watching on Facebook, please give us a heart and a like. And if you know someone who this might be the perfect business for them, please share this video with them or tag them as well. And I just want to thank you for watching today. Thank you for joining me, Alyssa. So happy that you were here. So go out there and make some money and then go do some good stuff in the world with it. Thank you for watching. Bye.